Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveEnoDing. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at the creations of this setup right here. It's almost like a snake, or maybe like a fish, because this one was actually inspired by this Seaman. Seaman. It's oh yeah, this is that's that's Seaman. It's actually based on a game by Sega, I think, and I guess this is actually kind of interesting to recreate procedurally. So let's just get started. It's actually not too hard. I'm gonna start from scratch, and I'll take you through the process of the creations of that Suzanne Seaman. So you start with a Suzanne head, of course. Let's save it as Suzanne Seaman. And Suzanne by default is facing the negative y-axis, so that's fine for what we are doing. For Suzanne body, we're gonna use a line, and by default line is growing in x-axis. We want it to grow in y-axis, so now we have 10 points for the line growing in positive y-axis, so that's cool. So how to turn this line into something that's more like a body? So we can actually use duplicate objects along edges. So this node is the one that's going to be doing the hard job. So we have this line, and we're gonna leave everything as it is. We're gonna use cylinder, and cylinder, plug that in, and as a result we're gonna have this. So this is probably not what we want, although X changing this is kind of giving us what we want, except for one thing: the front, the head of this duplicate objects along edges should be Suzanne head, right? So for that we can perhaps just this is the dirty way to do it. Just use list first and last. So we're gonna do that for this guy. Switch level to 1 and use the middle value for this guy, while the first value should be for Suzanne head. I think that's how it should work. Let's actually make the lines kind of wiggling like a snake. So this is the line, and we can of course randomize the line easily, but that's not what we want. We want it to be more like a sine wave. So vector out. We know the line is changing in y-axis value, so we can use that totally. So x is the same, the y is the same. The y is we want to use the value of the y to move the x. So this is what we're gonna do. Simply use a sine wave, plug into the x. The y should be the same. So we have our snake almost. The sine wave, if we want to push it, we can use math. Just plug it into this guy. Alright, so we have something that's working. Use frame, plug into this guy, and this should be multiplier. Where's multiplier? Multiply. Okay, so it's kind of doing it. The cylinder seems to be moving a little bit. Maybe I did something wrong, but it's nearly there. We can actually use the matrix, and if I'm not wrong, connecting Suzanne head into the matrix instead of just doing something really complicated, just use the matrix, the first or the last. Okay, so it seems to be doing something. Suzanne head is there. We might need to rotate it somehow. So we can use the matrix actually. Try matrix deform, scale it, rotate it. So we have a lot of convenience nodes already. So where is the Suzanne head? The scale. Okay, the scale should be like that. We need to rotate Suzanne in what angle? Yeah, this is actually kind of tricky. Don't use matrix transform. Maybe rotate Suzanne head first. Rotate it somehow. Okay, minus 90. Can we rotate it again? We can certainly do. So rotate that. Interesting, because in my previous setup, I don't actually need to rotate the head. It's just simply work. Matrix deform. Simply scale it. Something like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 edges based on this line. That's gonna make up our Suzanne head. Maybe I need to play around with the padding. Seems like Suzanne head is still kind of touching that guy. Maybe I did something wrong. So that's the matrix, that's the count. Let's see if we keep this guy. So we have that. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we want to get the matrix then. Okay, grab the matrix of the middle one. Plug in the cylinder. And we get this. Maybe we need to change something. I have a feeling that I should always use the X instead of using the Z, but we do get this interesting motion, right? And I actually have another one where the motion is more correct. So I will give you this, actually I'll give you both nodes tree setup and for you to have a look and study. But you see, I'm using X here, and what I did was I think I rotate the cylinder here to Z, should be Z to X. So this is the correct way to do it, and the other one is more incorrect, but you do get quite interesting motion, right? So yeah, it's interesting. I think I did something slightly off here, but I'm gonna give you both node 3 anyway. So there you go. That's how you create Suzanne Seaman. And so I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.